Hey, welcome to Aussie Online Growing on Shopify. This is episode number 87, and I'm going to share with you today about some common Facebook ads mistakes. I have 6 to share with you. It was 5, but I added one to the end that I felt was pretty important. If you are a beginner advertiser on Meta, on Facebook or Instagram, then I think you'll find this episode helpful. I am a Facebook ad specialist. I have built 2 brands using Facebook and Instagram for the bulk of my new customer acquisition. I started in 2020 and I have been in the back of the platform with hundreds of campaigns and tens of thousands of dollars ever since. I really enjoy it. I love it. I love the challenge of it, and I love getting results from Meta. And I love that my businesses have grown because of Meta. Many of my customers are repeat customers now after 4 years. So I have a high returning customer rate. It hovers around 40%. And Meta's not responsible for bringing those people back again and again. I nurture people through emails and blogs and sometimes some retargeting ads as well. But the bulk of my new customers come from my blog, so from Google organic search and from Meta. And I really want to reiterate, I really want to encourage you that Facebook is so worth the money for your small business. If you are not online, if you don't advertise on the platform, I really encourage you to find a coach or to find an agency or to find somebody to do this for you if you don't want to learn it yourself. Because yes, sure, as far as social media platforms go, Facebook is shrinking and TikTok is growing and YouTube is growing and potentially Instagram is shrinking. All that sort of stuff is true, but your customers are still there somewhere. Like, there's still billions of people on the platform, and it's still a really valuable place to find your customers and to build an audience for yourself online in today's world. It's never been easier to market to a specific group of people than it is today through Facebook advertising. And if you've had bad experiences before, I really do sympathize. I really do, because there are so many gurus out there that will charge you thousands of dollars and even tens of thousands of dollars to run campaigns for you and promise you many things, of which in a lot of cases, if you are one of those businesses or you've spoken to them, they don't deliver. It can be very gatekeeping with their knowledge, and there's not a lot of transparency with what they're doing for you and your business and the ROI. Like, where is the line between spending the money on Meta and the benefit to your business? That is so important if you are looking to spend money on the platform. So I am a little anti-agency, I'll have to say. I have heard many bad things about agencies. I have not had a great experience with agencies myself, and the very small experience I have with them has not been really positive. It's been quite intimidating, actually, because sometimes you feel like you're talking to people that just feel like they know everything and you are really stupid and know nothing. And that's so not the case. If you are looking to advertise on Facebook in 2024 and you want to do it yourself, I encourage you to boost a few posts. Find some organic socials that have done really well and boost them. Do you know, honestly, a few years ago, that was considered a really crappy strategy. Like, if anybody said in 2020, I just boost posts for my business, no one took that advertiser seriously, because the function of boosting a post was not great, and the results weren't great, and the data wasn't great. But now in 2024, there is a lot of value in boosting a post. I don't personally, because I work in the back of Meta. So I'm in the back of the platform with all the tables and the analytics and the metrics in the back. But if you are wanting to try and dip your toe into advertising on Meta, then boost a few of your well-performing organic social media posts instead of building things in the back for the first time. Because I can tell you, if you're building campaigns in the back of Meta for the first time and you haven't got any knowledge about the platform and you're not really sure where to start, Meta will very quickly run up your credit card for you. It will very quickly spend a large amount of money, and you will find it very difficult to see any return from that money if you're brand new to the strategy and the campaign strategies and advertising on the platform in general. That's a very long intro to say. Please reach out to me if you want to chat about this. You need some help with your own advertising campaign. You can find me at Aussie Online Growing on shopify.com.au. Go ahead, book yourself a free discovery call with me, and at least let me give you some advice on your own account. Or even after we chat, if you want to go ahead and have me audit your ad account, I can do that for you, and I can tell you what's working and what's gone wrong and why it's gone wrong and how to fix it. If you want someone to look after this for you because you are a business owner and you have far more important things to do in your day, but you understand that marketing and advertising is important, then reach out to me and I can handle all of that for you and just take that stress of knowing there's that work to do that you just can't get the time to do it, or the expertise. Like I said, I've spent 4 years doing this in the back of Meta. I have learned many, many things in the hundreds of hours I've spent in the back of many hundreds of campaigns. So it's a skill in its own, and I just really just encourage you to be wary of who you sign up for. Please don't sign up for some locked in contract with an agency. That's just makes me so sad. I get really stressed out when I hear people do that because it's I just feel like it's a massive waste of money more often than not. So let me share with you the things I see as the most common mistakes for beginners when they are advertising on the platform. So these are beginner mistakes. If you have been advertising on Meta for a long time, you are well past these mistakes. None of these are probably things that you do anymore, and you've probably rectified them since. But if you are brand new or thinking about it, or have advertised a bit, then I want to share with you some mistakes that I see pretty often. I'll give you a disclaimer though up the front, which is that I do struggle sometimes listening to people share their like tips of what not to do, like the mistakes they've made, don't copy me, because sometimes we just need to make these mistakes. Like, I'm not going to say to you, don't make these mistakes because I made them. I haven't made all these mistakes. A couple of them I have made. But at the same time, like, you'll make your own. So it's hard to say don't make these mistakes because at the same time as you're not doing these things, you're doing 5 other things. It's just something we all need to come to terms with, is that we make mistakes every day. And that's part of why we're in this business and in this game of online business and e-commerce, or service-based business online looking for leads and customers, is that we are making mistakes often every day. So you go ahead and continue to make the ones that you are making and make your own, and then learn from them, and you won't do those again. And so these are the mistakes I see. But I understand that it's tricky to say don't do these things because some of the things you will have already done in the past. But if you're starting out, then just be aware of these things. And some of them you'll probably go ahead and do anyway, and that's okay too. You just need to learn from them and give yourself a bit of a boundary. So if you do make one of these mistakes, it's not going to cost you thousands of dollars on Meta. It may cost you $50 or something like that, instead of everything, and then you give away the whole game. Like, just give yourself boundaries, particularly with budget. I would just encourage you to give yourself boundaries with your budget on Meta, so nothing comes as a surprise and you don't rack up thousands of dollars and a bill on your credit card that you just couldn't believe Meta went ahead and spent for you. So the first mistake is not having your pixel installed on your website. And this is not really critical in the sense that you can do many things on Facebook and Instagram advertising, get some great data without having a pixel installed on your website. However, it's one of those things that you're just better off getting right at the beginning, because sometimes you just never know when you're going to want to go back and look at that data. And then if you never set it up to begin with, you weren't collecting it. That's probably why this mistake is what it makes my list of the top 6. Because if you don't have a pixel installed on your website, and this takes honestly 5 whole minutes to set up, I'm not even joking, like 5 minutes to set up on most websites if it's integrated with Shopify or Wix or WooCommerce or WordPress and Squarespace and stuff. Like, honestly, probably 5 minutes to set up a pixel and install it on your website and start collecting that data, because a pixel is so important when you're advertising on Facebook and Instagram. That's where your data is stored, is in your pixel, and you want to put all your data in that space so that it starts to learn things about your business and your customers and your products and perform better for you over time. So even though not having set a pixel up to begin with, you can still advertise. There's no problem with that for many things on the platform. But it's one of those things you're just better off doing at the start, so that when you go back, you can actually find the data you want, rather than thinking in a year's time, oh, now I need a pixel. I should have done that at the beginning, because now I really want to go and find some data, or give this pixel more data to find me some customers when you get to that stage in your business. So from the beginning, it takes a whole 5 minutes to set up your pixel. It's so worth it. Like I said, you never know what type of data things you want to track down the line, or what you want to pivot to down the line, where this will become an important piece of your business. The second thing is understand what you are paying for. When you advertise on Facebook and Instagram, understand you are buying data. Fundamentally, you are buying data from Meta. that can really make a difference to what you expect from the platform and how you measure your campaigns, particularly in the early stages. So if you are very new, understand in the beginning, you're not buying customers, you're not buying loyalty, you're not buying repeat customers, you're not buying all the things that agencies probably have promised you. You're actually buying data, because Meta needs to understand what your business does, who it is, and who its customers are. And it can only learn that from the data that it gets and that you feed it because you pay to advertise. It's a vicious cycle. I know, it's the way it works, but you are buying data. And if you think about it that way, then if you plan out some campaigns and think, right, I'm going to spend $100 next month and see what I can learn from it, you'll set up your campaigns differently, because you won't just set up a purchase campaign looking for purchases. You'll set up different types of campaigns so that you can go back after a month that you spent your budget, and then you'll analyze that data in a different way, because you'll know it's just data that helps inform the next move. That is honestly one of the biggest things, that if you got that mindset sort of perspective correct, will save you a lot of headaches and frustration on the platform in general. If you really understand that what you're actually doing is buying data, especially to begin with, when Facebook doesn't know anything about your business and who your customers are and what your products are and things like that. You're also buying things that will help you, like with customer research, finding your audience. Who are even your audience? How do they speak? What products do they like? It's a great way to validate products. I love to advertise products on Meta for the sake of a product validation or customer research. My customer base has changed. When I started one of my businesses, I had these ideas in mind of who my customers were. Once I did some advertising for maybe 3 or 4 months, just the feedback I was getting from the types of people I was getting and the type of feedback they gave me very quickly helped me realize that my ideal customer was not who I imagined it was. It was a different type of person, which has then helped me obviously to grow a business since, because now I'm able to speak to and serve that particular type of customer, rather than the one I kind of made up in my head that I thought was my ideal customer turned out to not really be my ideal customer. And you don't know these things until you find this data out, and then you're willing to like dissect it and think about it and pivot and do a bit of analysis on it, and then make some changes and some decisions. So that's numbers 2. Number 3 is selling with a cold pixel. This is a little bit like probably the other two in some ways. Don't try and go for the hard sell straight away. Like I said, your data, your website and your ad account needs data behind it to warm it up, understand more of who your customer is, and then Facebook will perform better for you, and it will perform better over time with more data. So don't set up a brand new business, a brand new ad account, and then set up a purchase conversion campaign or a leads generation campaign, anything that's very bottom of funnel, to try and see to try and get results like that, because your pixel is cold. Like, there's nothing to it. It's an empty shell. And one thing Meta will do is spend money with an empty shell. Like I said, if you'll end up spending a lot of money for results you can't really understand or make analysis of, or really feel like you got anything back in return, because there's nothing there yet. Your pixel is cold. It's brand new. It's fresh. It's a baby. So it needs to be fed and nurtured and grown a bit, and it needs to be fed some data, feed it some advertising cash to learn some things before you can expect some like amazing results from it, before you can expect to set up a dynamic audience targeting shopping campaign or shopping catalog campaign and just get sales from it. It's just not going to happen straight off the bat. Or if it does, one sale may cost you $300. Like, to be real, you can get these things if you set them up, but they may cost you an exorbitant amount of money, like a crazy amount. It doesn't need to. You just need to be patient and understand this is building over time, and the more data, the better. Number 4 is, dynamic audience retargeting. I set up some campaigns recently on a new account. So I set up a new ad account for a new business, set up some campaigns for the first time, and it defaults, of course, to the audience, dynamic audience targeting, the generic, Meta AI inspired, founded audience targeting option for my campaigns. Turn it off. If you are brand new, turn it off, because again, it's a brand new ad account. I would trust you as a business owner who knows a lot more about your business and your customers and who you want to find on the platform when your business is brand new and your ad account is brand new, than trusting Meta to work that out for you. So turn it off. Don't let Meta figure this out for you. off the bat. Come back to it later. So in the opposite scenario, I set up some dynamic shopping campaigns. That's not the exact phrase, I forget, with one of my businesses, and they performed really well for the last 3 months. I've been very pleased. But 2 years ago, they didn't perform well at all. 2 years ago, the pixel was not as well seasoned, but 2 years ago, that feature was brand new on Facebook, or maybe it wasn't 2 years ago. Whenever that feature was launched, when Meta launched that feature, I tried it out and it cost me a fortune, didn't perform well at all. So I turned it off. But I came back to it because these features, when they first launch, they have a bit of a teething phase. You just need to give them some time. So there's always you should always come back to features on Meta, even if you gave away a particular type of feature and haven't bothered for a year or something. Come back and try it again because it's potentially now performing better than when it was first released. I have found that with my shopping catalog campaign, performs really well for me now. But when I first tried it, when the feature was very first released, it performed terribly, and I turned it off and went back to my previous way of finding customers. With this new account, brand new ad account, fresh, brand new, like 48-hour-old ad account, I have turned off the audience targeting, the automatic audience targeting. Advantage, is that what it's called? I should look this up. The Advantage audience targeting, where Facebook does all of the thinking for you with finding an audience. Don't do it. I would just encourage you not to do it because they will find crappy leads for you initially. They'll find crappy people who aren't customers. You won't get encouraging results. You won't get affordable results. You won't get results that can actually take you forward. Go back to, there's a very small hyperlink, trying to hide it, where you can switch back to the old audience targeting, switch back and build some custom audiences, some saved audiences yourself off of what you know about your customers and your business at the beginning. These are all beginner tips for you, remember. So if you are beginner in the advertising world with Meta, do the audience targeting yourself. Don't let Meta do it for you. It's just not worth it. Honestly, it's really not. I don't know why. I don't know why you would. If you're going to spend the money on advertising on Meta, go and do your proper due diligence and build some saved audiences and target those to begin with, and then go off of that feedback and that data before you start handing the reins over to Facebook willy-nilly to do whatever they want with, and you'll spend a huge amount of money that's not going to be real profitable for you or cost effective at all. And you'll be like, this platform's crap, and you'll never advertise on it again. And number five, hang on, we do number 5, is a variation of campaigns. That's a really common beginner mistake, is not to have a variation of campaigns. You should really be building yourself a type of marketing funnel in Ads Manager, a sort of top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel campaign spread in Ads Manager. That's if you're going to go into Ads Manager and take the time and effort and expertise to do that, or find someone and pay someone to do it, then I would encourage you to chat with them about building a marketing funnel in Meta. Meta rewards advertisers so much in 2024 over the previous years for being genuine small businesses, honest people, honest products, great copy, just a good small business. You will find far better results now than you did a few years ago with that sort of very sensible approach to the platform and advertising on the platform. And so you should really set up some sort of marketing funnel in the back, separate to that point, but off the back of that point. If you're going to drive traffic to your website or to a newsletter sign up or a lead generation page, then make sure you're doing something with that data, collecting it somehow. Like I said, most of my new customer acquisition is from Meta, but I have many repeat customers. In fact, one customer did an order with me this week, and it was her 50th order, which I couldn't believe. So 50 orders she's had with me in 4 years. I found her originally on Facebook. So I have great returning customer rate, and I nurture those people through emails and organic socials and things like that, and the occasional retargeting ad on Facebook. But when you are new, if you're going to drive traffic to a website or to a landing page or something like that, then I would just encourage you to collect those emails somehow and store them somehow so that you can go back and use them in your email campaign and in nurturing them and things over time, so you can stay in touch with them and build that know, like, trust factor with them. If you're going to spend the money on Meta anyway, getting them to your website, at least install a pop-up or something basic like that so that you're actually capturing as many people as you can who are inclined to complete that sort of information, and build yourself a list. But that's a little separate to this point exactly. But that's the reason why I say you should have a variation of campaigns and different types of campaigns in the back of your Ads Manager. And number 6 is not comparing data in Meta to somewhere else. Please don't take Meta's word for it for everything it says. You should be comparing the data in your ads manager to Shopify and at least to Google Analytics, so to those two places. If your business is very small and you are very new, you can probably just compare it to Shopify and that will make enough sense. There won't be that much variation as a problem. But if you're a bit down the track, like I am, then you need to have another way to analyze this data as well. I don't pay for a third-party plugin. You can definitely get one if you're down the track, but they're very expensive. But even comparing the data in Meta with G4 or Google Analytics will get you a long way to finding the truth behind what you spent and how it was used in Meta and where the results are and where the customer came from and why and how much they spent and blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. So that's my 6 things. Let me go through them again from the top. So number 1 is installing your pixel. That's a mistake I see people don't bother, and I understand why, but I just think you're better off doing it from the beginning because you'll regret not doing it potentially not regret. You may not regret it, but you may do. So just install it. It takes all of 5 minutes. Number 2 is understand that you are actually paying for data. In the beginning, you're not paying for customers. You're not paying for loyalty. You're paying for data. You may get customers, of course. I'm not saying you won't. But if you think in the beginning that you're actually paying for data, that will really help you keep your perspective right on why you're doing it and what you expect from the platform and how you will analyze those results moving forward to make decisions on what to do next. Number 3 is selling with a cold pixel or a brand new pixel or a brand new ad account and just building purchase conversion campaigns straight off the bat. Huge mistake, waste of money, cost you hundreds of dollars to get a customer. It's just not worth it. Don't sell with a cold pixel. It needs data behind it. Facebook needs data to find your people and your audience and to validate products for you. And your ad account and your business will perform better overall. Number 4, turn off Audience Advantage, whichever one is Audience Advantage Plus or Dynamic Audience. Turn off the automatic Facebook will find people for you option. Turn it off. If you're brand new, turn it off. Tell Facebook who you people are, build some audiences yourself, and test those. If you are brand new, your ad account is brand new, your pixel is brand new, your business is brand new, your website is brand new, turn that off. Don't do it. Do that later down the track, sure, but not as a beginner, not at the beginning with something brand new. Number 5 is make sure you have a variation of campaigns and not all the same campaign. Don't just build all purchase conversion campaigns or traffic campaigns or lead gen campaigns or engagement campaigns. Build a variety. Build a bit of a marketing funnel, something that resembles a marketing funnel in the back of Meta in your Ads Manager account. And number 6, don't just take Facebook's word for it when you see the analytics, when you look at the dashboard of all the stats you can look at, which is hundreds of them, there's many there. Don't take Facebook's word for it on what those stats are. Go back and compare them to your Shopify dashboard or your WooCommerce dashboard or your Wix dashboard, all those sorts of things, and to G4, to Google Analytics. So make sure you set up Google Analytics on your website if you haven't already, so G4, and make sure you compare the two with Meta to give yourself a more balanced view of how well Meta is really performing for you and whether those just get more accurate picture, particularly in the early stages when it doesn't matter so much. It's not like a variation is going to cost you $1 million. Like when you're at that stage, hey, we will all be doing this far differently. But in the beginning, just don't rely on just what Meta tells you only. Make sure you are comparing that data somewhere else as well. I hope that was helpful. That's my 6 things, 6 common Facebook ads mistakes if you are a beginner on the platform. These are 6 mistakes I see often. They are very common, and a lot of them have to do with how you fundamentally see the platform and the frame of mind you have around the platform and what it can do for you and what it means for your business and playing the long game. Hey, we are all in a marathon, not a sprint. You are the driver of your steam train. Hey, these are your decisions to make. These are your roads to pave and to find out. Pave, path, pave. These are your roads to explore. I don't know what I'm trying to say. These are your roads to travel on the road less traveled. These are your things. These are your mistakes to make. That's what they are. These are your mistakes to make. And maybe don't make these 6. Go ahead and make new ones. And let me know what they are. Send me an email if I have missed some. I'd love to know what your beginner mistake was on Facebook. Tell me what it is, or if you are about to start advertising, you need some advice, you need some support, please reach out to me. I'm a Facebook ad specialist. It's what I do. I spent tens of thousands of dollars on the platform with 3 businesses now that I have built from scratch. And I have helped many others along the way as well. And I can absolutely help you particularly if you know somebody in business who just knows they need to get marketing under control and they haven't got the headspace or the time. Of course they don't. They've got far better things to worry about. Reach out to me and I can chat with you about it, or send your friend my details or what have you through my website. Book your free discovery call. It's free just to chat with me for 20 minutes. Ask me some questions. We'll see if we're a good fit. And then maybe I can help you with an ad account audit or build some campaigns for you and all that sort of stuff. Lots of things I can help you with. If you have a baby advertising budget, I am your girl. You can find me at Aussie Online Growing on Shopify.com.au. I'll see you guys next time. As always, keep learning.